Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you a tour of my record collection. My friend actually suggested that I do this video. Me and him both collect records, so he obviously just wanted to see my full collection, so shout out to you, Harry. This video kind of is just for you, but welcome to everyone else who has decided to watch it and is interested in records as well. I started collecting records. I think my first record I got was back in January of 2024, and I will let you know which one of these was the first one that I bought. But yeah, so I don't want to do too much of a intro, so let's just get straight into it. Also, side note, I got a microphone, I got a little DJI mic. So hopefully sound quality is better. Let me know in the comments what you think. If it's all good, yeah, just let me know, because obviously this is the first video that I'm filming with this mic, so just, if it's not perfect, that's why. We're still kind of trial and error, working out exactly what settings and everything. Okay, right, let's actually get started now. I'm going to be going in alphabetical order of artist name, because that's just how I arrange them on my shelf. So we're going to start off with Julien Baker. Very appropriate. I'm actually wearing my Julien Baker top today. Okay, right. To start off with, we have Sprained Ankle. This is Julien Baker's first record. I have it in the Newbury Comics exclusive. I can't remember when it came out, a while ago, but I think I've got this for like £40 because I got it when it came out, because I ordered it from the store, but obviously because it's US based, I think the shipping was like £20. So the record was £20, then plus £20 shipping. Fun, but it is one of like 500, I think. And I love this pressing. I think it's so pretty. At the time this record came out, I think Julien had also released quite a few different variants. I think there were like 3 other variants on her store, and I kind of just like missed out on the one that I wanted. So I was kind of bummed, but then this one came out, and I had to grab it because I just think it is so pretty and it fits the cover in such a perfect way. It goes so perfectly with the album cover, and so I was so happy to pick it up. So I think it was worth the extra shipping that I paid to get it, because at the time I didn't have this album on vinyl. I'm not a variant collector. All of my records I have just one copy of, in whichever variant or pressing that I first got. When an album comes out, I honestly just scour and have a look at all of the pressings and decide which one I want. And so I just buy the one that I want the most, or I just buy whatever's available. So for like my pressings in black ones, it's just because like coloured ones aren't really readily available, because I'm not going to spend a load of money. Obviously this one's kind of hypocritical, but I think this is my second most expensive vinyl. This is my second most expensive record. I have one that's slightly more, but there's a reason for that, so I'll show you that later. Okay, next up we have another Julien record. This is Turn Up the Lights, her second album. I have all of her albums on vinyl, as you're going to see. This is just the standard black pressing. I'm not going to get out the records with the standard black pressings, because let's be honest, if you're watching a vinyl video, you probably know what that looks like already. But yeah, so this is just the standard black pressing of Turn Up the Lights. Again, I love this album. Yeah, I love Julien. So, and then we have, I think, what is my favourite Julien album. We have Little Oblivions. Again, this is just standard black. I think, honestly, for Turn Up the Lights and Little Oblivions, there's not really a coloured or interesting pressing that I like that's readily available. So I just have their standing pressings, but I'm totally fine with that because I love them and I just wanted to have it on vinyl so I could listen to it in that way. Anyway, so we just have Little Oblivions, standard pressing. And then for our final kind of Julien record, but this is I guess a collaboration album. This is the Julien and Torres album, Send a Prayer My Way. This is the orange glitter crush version. I pre-ordered it. I think this might have been from their website. I can't quite remember, but oh, also it's got a nice inner sleeve too. But yeah, it's very pretty pressing. I will say it is a little bit crackly, I think because of the glitter in it, but I honestly don't mind just because it is such a pretty pressing, and I feel like it kind of fits kind of the country vibe. So love that. I was lucky enough to see them when they did the signing at Rough Trade in London, and so I have like the signed insert. I don't know if you can see it. It's like up there. It's really dark and obviously in the background, but just trust I have it. I love them. I love this album. I'm not really a country person, but I really enjoyed this album, and it kind of made me more open to like country music in general. Those are all my kind of like Julien solo records. So next up we have a Blondshell album. So this is, wait, what is this called? If you asked for a picture, sorry, I like totally forgot for a second. I just randomly came across this in HMV when I don't remember where I was, but I was just out with my parents and I was like, oh, I'd never seen a Blondshell record like in real life before, so I was kind of excited about it, and I love this album. I'd actually been listening to it a lot at the time, and I still love this album. So I had a look, as I do, online to see if it was a reasonable price. So I, just to make sure I'm not getting scammed or I'm not overpaying like a ridiculous amount, because you know what HMV's like. And it pretty much was the standard price of where you would get it anywhere. So I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Again, this is actually a coloured pressing. It's this nice kind of red, kind of like it's not really a bright red, it's kind of a pastel red. I don't know if that comes off on camera, but yeah. So that is my Blondshell album. And of course, we've already done Julien, so moving on to one of the other boys. We have Phoebe. So I have both of Phoebe's albums. So this is Stranger in the Alps. Again, this is just on standard black. The classic. I'm excited for her new album. I haven't actually pre-ordered it or anything from anywhere, but I probably will pick it up at some point after it comes out. I love this cover so much. I think it's so cute. The other Phoebe album, we have Punisher. Again, standard black. Actually, something I do want to know about this one is I swear every pressing of this album is really crackly and bad quality. I don't know what was going on at Dead Oceans in like 2021, 2022 when they were pressing their records, but they are all quite crackly, I'm not gonna lie, because when I first got this I thought there was something wrong with it, and then I think I returned it, got another copy, and it was like just as crackly, and so we like looked up online, Reddit, etc., and pretty much from what I'm hearing, pretty much every copy of this, every pressing of it is quite crackly. I think apparently it's a bit worse if it's one of the coloured variants, but this is just black and it's still like that. So yeah, I also have some other records that are also from Dead Oceans, or like produced by Dead Oceans, that came out at the same period, and they're also a little bit crackly. So I think obviously just was whatever they were doing to their records at the time. They don't seem to have that issue anymore, because one of the ones that I have, I'll show you in a second, obviously later. So they seem to have fixed that. But yeah, for some reason, let me know if anyone else has had this experience. But yeah, if they were under the Dead Oceans label between 2021, 2022, I've had a bit of issue with crackly records. Yeah, but anyway, now we come to the one that was actually my first ever record vinyl. It is Boygenius. Yeah, just the Boygenius EP. I was really obviously getting into Boygenius at this time, and Boygenius is the whole reason that I got into collecting vinyl, because I bought this and I was just in awe listening to it about how much clearer you could distinguish their voices when they're singing together, or harmonizing. I think that's the technical term. I don't know. I'm not an expert in music, but yeah. So I picked it up, and this always will have a special place in my heart. Obviously, I love this EP, but just in general, I love it. Although I will say, it's kind of funny, because for some reason I was committed on getting the 5-year anniversary pressing, which is this questionable yellow colour. Not gonna lie, if I went back in time, I probably would have just gotten the standard pressing, but let's be honest, it was my first record, so now I'm never getting rid of it. So yeah, it's kind of funny, but yeah, it's in this kind of neon yellow for some reason. There were surely better pressing options, but like let's just not worry about it. Keeping on the Boygenius theme, I think this is actually the second record I ever got. Again, Boygenius, the record. I love this album. I love Boygenius so much. This, I don't know, they just have such a special place in my heart because they were the whole reason that I started collecting vinyl. So yep, I have this one, and it is a coloured pressing. I believe this was labelled, I believe on their website it was labelled as like sand or like beige or something. It's definitely more of a pastel pink. In real life, I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's definitely pastel pink kind of colour. Not really very beige, but I don't mind. I still really like it. But yeah, I got this off of their online store back in like 2024. All right, and then we have, I'm actually just gonna get it out because I don't have 12-inch sleeves, so I just keep it in a, oh, I don't have 12-inch sleeves, so I just, wait, no, this is, how big is this? Whatever, I don't have the sizing for like this kind of sleeve, so I just keep it in here. But yeah, this is the, what's it called? I'm so sorry, I'm so stupid. All right, this is The Rest, which was the EP they released, I think in October of 2023. And I have it in this kind of goldy-ish, kind of sludgy brown pressing. But I got it from H&V. I think it was like £12. So unfortunately it doesn't have a sleeve because I don't have any sleeves of this size, and it's the only one I have. But yeah. Next we have my Ethel Cain records. So we have Preacher's Daughter, of course. We love Preacher's Daughter. I got this after my birthday last year. I love this album so much. I think Family Tree. I feel like the Family Tree intro is actually my favourite song on the album. I don't know. Does anyone else agree with that? I just love it. I just think it's amazing. Anyway, so yeah, this, just Standard Black. I don't think there's even any other official variant of it actually, but Standard Black. Then I have Willoughby Tucker, I Will Always Love You. I got it back in August last year when it came out. Love it, love this record. So glad that I got to see her live. Yeah, this is the indie exclusive variant, so it has the print in it, if I can find it. Anyway, yeah, again, Standard Black. I think it's only Standard Black. I have them arranged in chronological order also, but I obviously totally missed it when I was looking my vinyl because I'm a lucky owner of the Record Store Day exclusive inbred record. I went out on Record Store Day, visited the nearest record store to me who was participating in Record Store Day, and I didn't show up. I literally showed up after they opened, and I was in the queue for a while, and I think I was initially looking for the Lucy record, but they literally had it and I was kind of in shock, and I was like, so I just picked it up, and I am extremely happy to have it on vinyl because I'm sure it's probably really expensive, but obviously I just got it at the retail price. Speaking of Lucy Dacus, here's my Lucy Dacus vinyl collection, which is actually very extensive now, I realise. So I just have her first album, No Burden, on Standard Black again. Love this record, I think it's really underrated. Then I have one of my prides and joys, which is I think this is the 5th anniversary pressing of Historian. I am obsessed with this album, and I was so excited. My parents actually got me this for my birthday last year. Look how pretty that inner sleeve is. She's so gorgeous. But yeah, this is the beautiful red pressing. I really wanted this red pressing, but honestly I didn't think I was going to be able to get it, but my parents ended up finding it secondhand, I think on eBay or something. So I was like so excited to have this. All right, next up we have a very new record to my collection. I actually got it for my birthday this year. I have Lucy Dacus's 2019. I just really wanted to have all of Lucy's albums on vinyl, so I asked for it and I'm very happy I got it. So yeah, we have like the iconic photo when you take that one great selfie and that one angle that we all do every time we take a photo. But yeah, anyway, so that's that. That is also in standard black, by the way. And then I have, of course, home video, again standard black. Love her. And then we have, of course, Forever Is a Feeling. This is the version that this was one that I pre-ordered from her store before it came out. So it's a very bougie version. It's like, I'm gonna have to try and show this to you. I don't know if you can see, but it's like, it's got the insert. You can like take it out and then it has like all the lyrics and everything. It's a really, really cool record. And I love it so much. This also came with the signed insert, but I can't show you that right now because it is like stuck up above my record player. And then this is the pressing for it. Very pretty. And then, of course, to kind of round off her albums, I have Forever Is a Feeling, the archives. So I have everything on there. I got this, I believe, for the most recent Christmas that's just gone. And it is this very kind of pretty, kind of cream pressing colour, which I think is just a standard, but I really love it. Then to round off my Lucy Dacus collection, I have the Record Store Day single of Planting Tomatoes, which I went out on Record Store Day to try and get. The store that I went to, we didn't actually stock it, but I luckily managed to buy a copy of it on like, I think the Monday when the leftovers go on sale online. Yeah, I love it. It's so pretty. I also love the song. She recently released a music video for it. Yeah, love it. This is actually the only 7-inch that I have in my collection. I don't usually buy 7 inches. I wouldn't really go for it, but I think I decided that as I think this is probably only going to ever be released as a 7-inch. I was like, let's buy it. Also, it's just such like the cutest like pressing ever. Like, isn't it just, it's so cute. I love it. So I had to buy it. All right, the next one actually comes with a little disclaimer. I have this Eco Mix vinyl of Übermensch, which is G-Dragon's most recent release. I'm actually trying to sell this. Yeah, I literally have this listed on like websites to sell because I just realized I don't think I really want to have K-pop stuff like in my record collection, because this is the only like K-pop thing that I have in my record collection. And I think I'm just like happier having K-pop CDs like with the albums and stuff, because I think K-pop vinyl like in general is just really expensive. Vinyl in general is expensive, and then K-pop a whole other kettle of fish. But yeah, I also I feel like I just don't, for me, when I started getting into vinyl, I was like very strict. I have to love like the whole album. I have to like genuinely really love it. And I do like this album, but I just feel like I don't love it enough. And it was kind of an impulse purchase. So yeah, I am trying to sell it. But on the bright side, I was actually really nervous when this was on the way to me, because because it's obviously an Eco Mix vinyl, so it's like a random colour, and I saw that a lot of people were just getting kind of like black pressings, which obviously like now I understand it makes sense, because it's just using like leftovers of whatever's already been used. But I got super lucky and got this really pretty purple pressing. So yeah, this is that. This is kind of a moment in time to document while I still have it. I mean, I have it on there for a reasonable amount because it was limited. So I'm not like desperate to sell it, but I would rather it go to a home that I think will appreciate it more than it probably is in my collection. And then we have Miss Katie Gavin's album, What a Relief. I love this album so much. I feel like it's the perfect kind of spring album. I just love this album. And yeah, I really loved Katie's solo record. Oh my gosh, I forgot how pretty. Yeah, it's nice in a sleeve too. I have it in this pretty green colour. Okay, moving on, we actually have my one and only non-official record, slash bootleg, whatever you want to call it. I have this copy of Lana Del Rey, aka Lizzie Grant, that I picked up at like a record fair randomly that I went to with my dad. They just like happened to have it, and I actually had never listened to this album when I bought it, because I know that you can probably listen to her unreleased music on maybe like SoundCloud or certain recordings, but honestly, if it's not easily like accessible to me that I can listen to on like iTunes or something, it's too much hassle for me to listen to it, because I don't want to have to go onto another platform, you know. So I just haven't really listened to her unreleased stuff, or that much of it. But when I saw it, I was like, you know what, let's pick it up, because I am interested to get to listen to it in an easy way. And I'm really glad that I did, because I love this album actually. I really love listening to it. This is kind of the pressing of it. It's just like this kind of marbled blue colour, very pretty. But yeah, I'm actually really glad that I picked it up, because I really enjoy this album, and I've really enjoyed being able to listen to it all the way through, and it plays really nicely. So yeah, even though it's a bootleg, I do really like this one. And next up we have our first official Lana album, which is Honeymoon. I love this album so much. It's like one of my favourite records. To be fair, all of the ones that I have on record are like my favourite of her albums. So yep, we have Honeymoon. Again, this is just standard black, but love it. Then we have Lust for Life. This actually took me like a crazy long time for me to actually get this on vinyl, but I love it so much. Again, love this album, love Lust for Life. Yeah, so this is Lust for Life, standard black. And then we have Blue Banisters. Again, I literally love this album. It's so pretty. I feel like, I want to say it's underrated, although I feel like it got a lot of attention a while ago because people were talking about how underrated it is. So now I don't know if it's still underrated, or if it is it still underrated? Is it just really popular now with a certain niche of Lana fans? I don't know, but I love this album. Very big fan. Oh my god, Living Legend. One of my favourite songs ever. So good. So good. Right, the next one also comes with a caveat. I have Crybaby by Melanie Martinez. I will say, I did get this before the allegations kind of like resurfaced. I think I was always really into her. I think I was into her when I was like maybe 9. Like I was really young at the time. And from my understanding, because you just believe what people on the end say on the internet, it's like, oh no, like those are all fake, like they've been debunked, whatever. And I just believed it. And then it came back out again after I'd already bought this. I don't plan on selling it just because I don't know, I feel like these songs have such a big part of my childhood. I won't buy any more of her stuff, but it was also nice to actually have like a physical copy of it. I actually have her stuff on CD as well, so I can like listen to it without streaming. I do have such a special place in my heart for this album. I will actually show you the pressing. Sorry, it's so thick so it doesn't fit in a normal album sleeve, but it has like literally the prettiest pressing. It's so gorgeous. So yeah, that's my Crybaby album. All right, moving on, we have my Mitski albums. So I have Laurel Hill. I feel like, again, a very underrated album of hers. I literally adore it. I think it's one of my favourite Mitski albums. And it is on this very pretty red pressing. I feel like I actually have quite a lot of red pressings now that I'm thinking about it, but they are all very pretty. So yeah. Then we have this copy of The Land Is Inhospitable and So Are We. This album of hers, I literally adore. Actually, I can get it out so you can see from behind the kind of the dust jacket. There you go. I adore this album so much. I listened to this like on repeat in the October of when it came out. I truly adore it. And then it is on, I believe they called it Eggshell Blue. It is just kind of a light blue, but it's very pretty. So yeah, my favourite songs from this album, The Deal, I'm Your Man, literally love them so much. Will Never Recover, perfection. And then lastly for my Mitski collection, I have her most recent album, Nothing Is About to Happen to Me. Again, love this album. So glad that I got to see her on her tour this year. I have a vlog of that, by the way. Again, I actually have another blue Mitski pressing. This is I think this was the HMV exclusive version. Looking back, if I had the option, I probably would have gotten this version, or I would have gotten her store exclusive, which was like the lavender kind of colour. But by the time I decided to buy the record, it was kind of already out of stock on her store, so I ended up just waiting to get this blue pressing. But I still really like it, and I love this album. This pressing also made an appearance in the music video that I did for one of the songs for this album. I did a music video for, wait, I forgot how to pronounce it. Is it Karen or Sharon's Opal? But yeah, I made a music video, and I obviously put this as a little Easter egg. All right, moving on now to my Muna collection. We already saw the Katie Gavin record earlier, but here we have, this is the About You one. I feel so lucky to have this because I genuinely thought this was going to be impossible to find, and I'd accepted that I was never going to get this album on on a record. I do have it on CD, and I already had it on CD. When my parents were looking to find Historian, the red pressing, the same person was actually selling this as well. So they also bought this for me, and I was so excited because I truly adore this album, and I feel so lucky to be able to have it because I just feel like it's not readily available. I think they were selling it on their US store, but I feel like it's really difficult to get in the UK. I've never seen it. Anyway, but so I'm very, very happy to have this on vinyl. Continuing on with Muna, I have Saves the World. Again, love this album. Love Muna in general. You know how it goes. I have it on this gorgeous purple pressing, I think, which is labelled as Dark Raspberry. But yeah, anyway, love it. Love this album. What's more to say? Then, of course, we have Muna, self-titled. Actually, when I was talking about earlier, when I was talking about the Dead Oceans records that have Correctly Sound, this is one of those ones with those issues. I know that it's technically under Satisfactory, but that is Phoebe's like sub-label of Dead Oceans, I'm pretty sure. I think that's actually like stopped now. I think they're just going to be generally under her label, because I think she's not doing Satisfactory records anymore. But anyway, so I do believe it is of the same problem, because it is like slightly crackly, like more than it should be. But that's fine. Anyway, but a very pretty green pressing, nevertheless. My Laurel Hill Mitski one also has that issue, because that's also Dead Oceans. I forgot to mention it when I was going through that. But yeah, that's kind of how I made this assumption, that I think Dead Oceans obviously just weren't pressing very good in like 2021, 22, maybe 2020 to like 22. Anyway, and then of course we're moving on to the final Muna record, which is their most recent, Dancing on the Wall. Absolutely adore this album. I was fortunate enough to see it live at their record store show, and I also will be seeing them again in November. I have it on this clear pressing, which is the only clear pressing in my collection, but very cool. I got this one for my birthday this year. It's also a signed copy, so I have this little kind of postcard thing with the signatures, which is cool. Moving on from that, we go to my current Taylor Swift collection. I have wait, I feel like this is in the wrong order. Hang on, guys. We will do Folklore first. I have Folklore on the standard pressing, the standard beige pressing. I swear I saw someone saying that they didn't particularly like this pressing, but I actually do like the beige. I think it fits the album really well. So yeah, but I kind of like brown in general, so maybe, so you know, I'm biased, but yeah. And then actually back to Evermore. So we have Evermore. I actually bought this record very soon after seeing Taylor at the Eras tour, like that summer. Again, this is just the standard pressing, but it's like this gorgeous green pressing. I love that. I love that for these ones, like the standard pressing was actually coloured. I think it's really pretty. Okay, and then to round off my collection of Taylor vinyls, I just have the Tortured Poets anthology. I'm not going to get out these because there's like 4 different kind of coloured pressings for each of the discs, but yeah, I deliberately waited to see if she would bring out like all of the songs, and thank God I waited, because obviously here it is. I basically just told myself that I wasn't going to buy the Tortured Poets unless she brought out like the full thing. And then obviously eventually she did. So I picked that up. And then moving on to another very new record in my collection, I have Sea Rose, Death in the Business of Wailing. I literally am obsessed with this album. I've listened to it so much, particularly at the beginning of the year, and I think the end of last year. I can't remember quite when it came out. But I literally adore it. I think this album is so beautiful. And yeah, so I just was like, you know what, I need this on vinyl. And I actually listened to it for the first time last night. And yeah, absolutely beautiful. And I have it on this like kind of gold metallic kind of pressing. All right, next up we actually have, I mentioned earlier how I had a vinyl that actually cost me more than the Julien one. And it is this Last Dinner Party one right here. We have Prelude to Ecstasy, signed by all of the Last Dinner Party. I actually picked this up when I saw them live for when they were touring for Prelude to Ecstasy. And it was like at their merch stand, it was £50. Which is obviously expensive, but I was just like, you know what, it's signed by all of them, let's do it. It's also, I think this is called like the Blood Ox, or Ox Blood pressing, sorry. It is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I picked that up, and that is in fact the most I've ever spent on a record, £50. Oh wait, no, I'm a liar. The Taylor one, like the anthology, was I think 60, although technically I didn't buy that, so that was a Christmas gift. So yeah, technically that is the £50 is the most I've spent, but yeah. But honestly, so worth it. And it's so nice to have a signed record where it's not just like an insert that's signed, it's like the actual record. Love this, one of my favorites in my collection for sure. And then continuing on with the Last Dinner Party theme, we have my copy of The Pyre. I have this version, which is I can't remember what it was labelled as, but it's really cool because you can choose what you have kind of in the image. I'll show you for a second. So basically it comes with all of these pictures, and you can basically choose what insert you have to be the front cover, which I literally love so much. Like, that's honestly just like such a cool thing. I love that when it's like customizable. You can see I currently have the Woman is a Tree kind of inspired picture here with Emily and Aurora as my front cover. Then, in very similar to the actually Lucy Dacus archives, I have it's this pretty kind of yellowy creamy pressing. And then next up we have Hayley Williams. This is Ego Death Bachelorette Party. This is the Team Zizzo pressing I got from her online store. I just decided to pre-order it because I kind of love how she released all of the songs and then obviously put them in order, but it meant that I'd already listened to all the songs by the time like pre-orders came out, which kind of love. Like, can we have more artists doing that, please, instead of making me pre-order an album that I haven't listened to? But yeah, super pretty pressing as well. And I love this album. I'm so sad that I didn't get to see her on like the kind of the tour that she's been on recently. I'm kind of hoping that she'll announce dates at bigger venues so I can still get to see her, but I really love this album. So yeah, also kind of matches me today actually. And then moving on to the final record in my collection, so thank you so much if you've made it this far. My final record in my collection is the Twin Peaks soundtrack. I picked this up, I can't remember, sometime last summer. But yeah, I was really into like Twin Peaks, and I still love the Twin Peaks soundtrack. It's like, Twin Peaks is my favourite soundtrack ever, and I'm not a soundtrack person. It's obviously the only like kind of TV / like it's the only soundtrack record I have, but I was just like so worth it because I genuinely love listening to it, and I think it's really great to like write to and everything, and it's like in this kind of coffee inspired pressing, which I think is so cool and like obviously so on theme because of like Cooper's coffee obsession. I just think the pressing's really cool, and that is the final record in my collection. Well, that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me through my entire vinyl collection. I'm sure this video is going to be pretty long, so if you made it to the end, thank you. Let me know if you also if we have some of the same albums on vinyl. Let me know your favourite vinyl record that you have. I would love to know. I think my favourite is probably the Julien one or the signed Lost in a Party one, I would say. But yeah, okay. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.